All right, hey everyone. Welcome to another episode of Trading Bitcoin. I am your host, Tone Vays. Hold on 1 second. There's someone knocking at the door, I think. I hear it's your office. Hold on. I was muted. Okay, my bad. Yeah, I just have to let some people into the office. I was closest to the door. Yeah, I'm back. I'm back. This should sound now. And also let me lock the camera in so that it doesn't move around when I move. Okay, so we're almost halfway through the month, and so far, this is still our best opportunity to buy for the long term. Here's the monthly chart. Our last two times we had one of these MRI green buy candles. It has turned out to be very, very good for the price of Bitcoin. If I drop all these lines, you have it right there. Back in May of 2015, you have it here in December of 2018, and you have it again here in September. This was my weekly look at the chart. We are coming up on some very, very critical resistance. It's really nice that Bitcoin is all the way up to $22,500, but we've been here before. We've been here very recently before. We've been higher than this very recently before, and it amounted to absolutely nothing. And in fact, it went down and gave us almost a new weekly low close and almost a new weekly swing low. There's nothing all that significant that has taken place, causing this rally to the upside. And the resistance that we are about to approach is even worse than the resistance we approached back in August. So while this is nice and bullish, the price of Bitcoin would need to prove to me that the bull market has started. And the only way it can actually do that is by going above the prior swing highs at $25,000, which it has not yet done. Here is our allocation chart. It is nice to see that we are above two of the moving averages, but once again, we are still below the most critical moving average, and these two moving averages have not yet even crossed. So I will remain in an all cash position until these moving averages all completely flip over. I don't really have any thoughts on Hodl Nut's case. Hodl Luna, I don't even know how to pronounce his name. Like, I don't really have thoughts on that case. Other than the fact that it's ridiculous that he has to go to court. Yeah. All right, daily chart. The daily chart has made it above the 50-period moving average, but it is nowhere near I mean, okay, it's, how do I phrase it? We made it above the 50-period moving average, but because we had to go so far to get to that moving average, it is possible that this move is close to being exhausted. Now, based on the MRI, it has plenty of room to go, at least 4 to 5 more days, but we are about to run into very critical resistance, which we have not touched in a long time. We were able to get it past the 128-day moving average last time, and we ran right into the 200-day moving average. So again, while this is nice, it is nothing special, and we have to wait until it breaks more critical resistance. I mean, it's a good question, Corey. Do you think there is anything to the theory that everyone needs to feel pain on their entry to Bitcoin, and therefore it cannot go up until Saylor basically gives up? It's possible. It's possible that Saylor would need to capitulate before Bitcoin can finally take fall. It's possible. I hope not, because he's only buying more, and Bitcoin would probably have to fall to like $1,000 for Michael Saylor to give up. So I hope that doesn't happen. But I mean, it's not a, I mean, it is a legitimate theory that while a lot of pain has been felt, there's still too many shitcoin billionaires out there. So yeah. But we are making a brand new hourly close high, and that is very, very bullish. And I do think that we have more short-term bullishness, just like when I drew this arrow here, probably the last time I did this video, because I didn't do a video yesterday. And I thought that we were very bullish once we were breaking the prior swing high. We are back to breaking the prior swing high right here. So the prior swing high was only like 6 hours ago, and that is a bullish sign that Bitcoin is likely to, you know, break out and go further. Let's go and look at other markets. Yeah, it's nice. GBTC is, you know, rallied nicely here. Curious how Bitfarms is doing. It'd be nice to see GBTC discount start to evaporate. It's been seriously depressed for a long time now. So let's see if we can get that back up with the rally. When this happens, this will happen quickly because there just won't be enough GBTC shares to go around. Hey guys, the financial summit is coming to Bali, Indonesia. We will be there in about, wow, 6 weeks. It's the very middle of September. So we got about 6 weeks to go, not all that much time until the financial summit in Bali begins. Unconfiscatable will take place in December of next year. We're going to take almost a full 2 years off between events, but it will be back in 2023. We did March 2022. Now we're going to do December 2023. And it might move to December going forward. Good time to be in Vegas in December. All right, my calendar. I am in Costa Rica right now. I'll be here a few more days, and then it's back to Panama. Here are the events in Panama. If you are able to come to Panama City, you're going to have an amazing time at our meetup at Emotions Dinner Theater. just click on the link and check that out. And then the following day, we are doing a 10-hour yacht cruise. It's not free. It's about $600 a person with food, drinks, entertainment, the works. It's going to be awesome. And in case anyone was wondering, I am not profiting from the cruise. That's just how much it costs. Fuel is not cheap these days. You can, of course, follow us on Instagram and Twitter. Hopefully, we'll break 2,000 followers on Twitter soon. We'll continue to tweet out, analysis and stuff like that on Twitter. No, that's my Twitter. Okay, we talked about the hourly chart. Talked about GBTC oil. I remain bullish on oil. You guys know my views on oil. We have pulled back to a critical area of support. We had the MRI buy. Technically, according to the MRI, we should be bearish, but I remain bullish on oil. Let's see if we can make it to an MRI buy, second consecutive MRI buy, without going too far below this red line. And then we will be able to take off to the upside. I really don't have much of an opinion on gold. And the stock market continues to rise. I remain bull in the stock market. You guys know my views on the stock market. I've been always a bullish on the stock market. It's incredible how many people have been bearish on the stock market my entire life. I have been bullish on the stock market for over a decade now. And I do expect us to break out to unreasonable highs in the US stock market, even though I'm bearish on America. It's not a contradiction. I'm bearish on America. I'm bullish on the American stock market. Two independent things. Socrates is doing great. Spoke to him actually very recently. He's doing well. Any chance I can have him on a stream? Unlikely, mostly because honestly, I'm not coordinated enough to have anyone on my stream. It requires, I just do these streams randomly when I have time. My day today is completely random, and I just can't plan it. Like I don't even like planning meetings more than 24 hours ahead. So. If the stock market reaches those targets, what price of Bitcoin? I don't know, $250,000 of Bitcoin, easy. We are looking at a target, sometime in 2026, 2027. I mean, Bitcoin should easily be over $250,000. I mean, it's the same speculation that would drive the stock market up. It would drive Bitcoin up even higher. So. I don't know. What's the Trump stock? Oh yeah, I'm gonna close these silver charts. No one cares about silver. I don't care about silver. As you guys know, I am very bullish on the yield. I'm expecting the yield to go up. Therefore, I'm expecting bonds to go down. And here we are, bonds going down. Let's look at FX. Let's look at the dollar. The dollar is stuck near the highs. I'm surprised the euro is back above parity. That's not going to last. The euro is a total basket case. It's going, the euro is going to just break up. Turkish currency continues to devalue. The Russian currency. Let's look at how the ruble is doing. I am expecting the ruble to greatly appreciate, as you guys know. I am anticipating the Ukrainian currency to hyperinflate, and I am expecting the ruble versus the Ukrainian currency to reach above parity, which is going to be very, very critical in the military conflict between the two countries. Pretty soon we will get, we will get to see how much more oil the government has taken out of the strategic reserve. All right, that is pretty much it. I have not seen, it's been about 24 hours since I paid attention to what's going on in the Russia-Ukraine conflict. And Russia has left the entire north region of near Kharkiv, and they're ceding this territory back to Ukraine. And let's see how that works out. Let's see if Ukraine is able to push the Russians back. They have established their front line being the river, which makes sense. They are using these troops to defend the regions they care about more, which is the south. So from a military strategy, this does make sense. If you watch the military summary channel or another YouTube channel that, does all of this research and then gives you the updates, the south part of the country is way more important to the Russians than the north. All right, anything else from the live chat? Am I having audio problems? What's going on? Should be fine, right? I mean, I have my microphone. It's fairly close to me. I didn't change anything. I can put it here. I can put it more in front of me, like this. Whoa, Apple rallied super hard. Oh, that's the hourly chart. Oh, that's because I changed the wrong chart again. What chart was this? This was Bitcoin hourly. Wait, someone told me I can go use the back button. There we go. Back button's useful. Get rid of that so instead of in there. Apple. There we go. Weekly Apple chart. Apple looks super bullish. Looks really bullish. It's a bullish chart. Had an MRI warning on a weekly. We can go to the daily chart. Daily chart looks very bullish as well. Beautiful doji. Let's see if there was an MRI. Buy. There wasn't. Bounced right off the support line though. And very bullish day. That would be bullish Apple. Facebook is bearish. See the difference? I mean, Meta is down 58% from its all-time high last year. Apple is near its all-time high. So this is bearish consolidation near the bottom. So that's a bearish chart. Apple, bullish chart. You know, we are in a little bit of a downtrend here, but it's not consolidating at the lows. The moment Apple can break this downward trend line, I would expect it to go back to like $200 here. New all-time high. We can look at Trump's media company. I think they did a terrible job. The chart looks very bearish, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. They announced they were going to have a Twitter competitor, but they never did. And I don't know what the hell they did, but I've never seen anybody use it. They never opened it up to Android users. I'm an Android user. I'm not an Apple user. When you start your product on Apple only, I think it's a mistake. Bitfarms. Yep, Bitfarms rallied super nicely. I never got a chance to get in. I hope you guys got a chance to get in. I probably would have paid more attention to it had it fallen like below $1. Would have been great. But Bitfarms is now up like 50%, which is way outperforming, say, GBTC, for example. This is a weekly chart, and Bitfarms rallied 30% at one point. I don't think Bitcoin's rallied 30%. TLT, I already showed TLT is bearish. TSCO. Neutral, no comment. Leaning a little bearish. Sorry, leaning a little bullish, not bearish. But no comment really. It's just consolidating in no man's land. Gold the company or gold the asset? This is gold the asset. Not interesting at all. Probably leaning bearish. There's also gold the company, Barrick Gold. And this looks very bearish to me. CYCC, never heard of it. Pharmaceutical, cheap stock. Whatever they've done with their company, I don't know how many people their pharmaceutical company has killed, but they probably have, because look at their stock. This is a complete and utter disaster. This is, I wouldn't touch this with a 10-foot pole. I hope you don't have stock in this company. Has literally done nothing but lose you money. Right, look at this. Look at this. I don't even know how this is possible, but it is. This is this might be one of the worst performing companies of all time. It's like Bitcoin Cash has outperformed this thing. Come on. Why even ask? Whatever this is, it's an utter disaster. It can go lower. This is one of those things where it can go much lower because they're going to reverse split again. There's just infinite reverse splits. So you should check if they've been like, accused of money laundering or something. No, the company doesn't IPO at $100,000. The company probably IPO'd at a normal price of $20. They do reverse splits. It's a reverse split. When a company does a reverse split, it means that they have plenty to go. So all of a sudden, this stock becomes, instead of $1.60, when this stock falls to like 20 cents, it then becomes like a $20 stock. And then it has more to fall. They reverse split. Why are stocks up and TLT down? That's because stocks and interest rates have nothing to do with each other. This is a huge myth. There is this ridiculous myth that interest rates affect stocks, and they don't. They really don't. And I will argue this with like Nobel PhD professors. Stock prices, and this is something you really need to understand. I'm not going to say it doesn't affect it at all, but it doesn't affect it in a significant way. Okay. So here's the claim. The claim is that when it's cheap to borrow money, people will borrow money and put that money in the stock market. So if you can borrow money for, say, 1% a year, so you go and borrow $100,000, or in the case of Wall Street, you go and borrow $1 billion, and then you only owe 1% on that money. So you can borrow all that money, you can put it in the stock market, and all of a sudden you get rich, right? So people think that lowering interest rates raises the stock market, because then people can borrow cheap money and they can put it in the stock market. And when they raise interest rates to like 8%, people will stop borrowing money and they're not going to pump that money into the stock market. Therefore, when you raise interest rates, stock market falls. When you lower interest rates, stock market rises. And this has been engraved in people, so that every time the Fed announces that they're going to drop rates, market rallies. The Fed announces they're going to tighten Fed announces they're going to raise rates, the market crashes. The Fed announces they're going to lower rates, the market rises. Here's the reality of the situation. The reality of the situation is that, and there's some correlation there, right? So if we go to a long-term scale, so here is stock market on a weekly chart. We can make the stock market on a monthly chart. Here's the stock market. Interest rate had a peak right here. Interest rates were like 20%, and interest rates have been coming down, and the market's been rallying. Interest rates have been down. The reality is the stock market is speculation. Why do people invest in the stock market? People invest in the stock market in order to speculate on the latest technology. No one speculates in the bond market. No one. The bond market is not for speculation. It doesn't matter. On a big picture, it doesn't matter. People will borrow money at 10% if they can put it in the stock market and make 20%. No one is going to borrow money at 2% or 1% if they put it in the stock market and then it loses them money. No one's going to do that. Okay. So they're two completely independent things. So normally, when the only correlation that you have is a direct correlation between bond prices and bond yields. When interest rates rise, bond prices fall. That's it. Interest rates rising, TLT's falling. Okay. Now, if we look at the weekly chart of interest rates, the interest rates bottomed out right here with COVID. And since then, interest rates are up. big. Let's pick a shorter time span, okay? Let's say here, interest rates rally from, interest rates broke out in January of this year, and interest rates have rallied all the way into June. Let's look at the stock market. Let's go to a weekly chart. So if interest rates rallied from the beginning of the year and they topped in June, they had a high in May and then another high in June. Let's look at the stock market. Let's go to the beginning of the year. So the stock market in the beginning of the year, sorry, beginning of this year, it topped right here. And the stock market was dropping all the way into June. So you can say, whoa, the market is correlated. The market is so correlated. Interest rates were going up and the stock market was going down for 6 months. And then what happened? Well, then you can say the stock market rallied from June till it topped in August. Let's go to the interest rates. What did interest rates do from June to August? Interest rates were dropping a little, market was rallying. Now interest rates are rising, and what is the stock market doing? Well, the last couple of weeks, the stock market has been rallying. So what happens if the stock market rallies past the June swing high, sorry, past the August swing high, while interest rates are rising again? What it would prove is exactly what I'm talking about, that they have nothing to do with each other. They are correlated because people want them to be correlated. They, in reality, interest rates and the stock market are uncorrelated. You will find, I will find you equally as many instances where interest rates are rising, markets are rising. Interest rates are falling, markets are falling. There is no actual correlation. They are two independent things. So keep that in mind. The next time you assume that a rising interest rate crashes the stock market, okay? I anticipate US interest rates to be rising for years and years to come. And I also expect the stock market to rise as well, because stock market rises on speculation, where interest rates are not speculation. It's kind of speculation, but it's not greed speculation. It's speculation about where the economy is headed. Okay, apparently there's a lot of cool stuff in the chat. Look at Zoom. Zoom looks like a basket case. I don't really know why I'm looking at it. Not much interesting in Zoom. Everything is bearish across the board. PTN. Palatine. No, I've not. Palatine. No, I've never heard of it. Again, another basket case. Shitcoin. Whatever this is, they have done a terrible job with their company. The DAX. We can go to indices. I'm sure I have the DAX in here somewhere. The DAX looks very bearish. What would have to happen for me to give up on Bitcoin? I don't know. I mean, I would need to see price below 10,000 for a while. Like a lot below 10,000, maybe even closer to 1,000 at this point. Guys, there's no, I don't expect anything to stop Bitcoin. I mean, we'll see what happens with this mining ban. So I think the US government is going to try to ban proof of work mining. The answer is yes, of course. But this will lead us closer to the split between the South and the North. Guys, Texas is going to revitalize their state thanks to mining. Texas is not going to give up Bitcoin mining. If Bitcoin mining creates, 10, 20,000 jobs in the state of Texas, why on earth would Texas want to destroy 20, 30,000 jobs, 100,000 jobs? I mean, the more mining farms there are in Texas, they're not going to go. They're not going to let the federal government do that. They're going to say no. It's possible. Like if this goes on, if Bitcoin mining continues to grow as a sector, it's like imagine the U.S. government banning oil, discoveries of oil in say 1910. Getting oil out of the ground is bad for the environment. Therefore, we are going to ban the oil industry in the United States. There probably would have been another civil war, 60 years after the first one. So it's no different. Hopefully mining keeps exploding in Texas, and Texas alone can stand up to the U.S. federal government. They'll just say no. They'll just say you won't do that. Like again, like it's imagine America in 1915 saying due to the environment, we will not allow you to mine for oil. Yeah, I agree. Like nothing can stop Bitcoin. I don't see myself ever giving up on Bitcoin. Like it's like I don't know what would happen. Like you're asking me what would happen for me to give up on Bitcoin. Like I don't know. You have to show it to me. Tone, what would happen for you to give up on the internet? I don't know. I don't know. Bernoulli, it's the entire climate change argument is absurd. So it's not. I mean, like the whole thing is completely absurd. Like the fact that humans alter climate, and that's the reason why it was warmer this summer in Europe. I mean that whole notion is absurd, but it doesn't seem to stop anybody. The entire climate change movement is absurd. It's I'm surprised Rig is still so depressed. I mean, it also looks like a shitcoin, right? No, I think Rig is okay. I think Rig has a chance to break out. It is coming up on an MRI weekly sell though. All right, guys. I am ready to call it a day. I'm ready to call it a day. Thank you all so much for watching, and see you all on the next one. Bye, guys.